Hey San Antonio, this is Rob for the MetalWorks, and tonight I am at the Sunset Station to welcome an artist who really needs no introduction. I have with me the man, Glenn Danzig. How you doing, Glenn?
Good, I guess.
Welcome back to San Antonio, man. And we were just talking, it's been since '99, and I kind of want to get started about that time. You were supporting 666. What did you do after you completed the touring for Satan's Child?
Relaxed, and then we started working on this record, took care of a bunch of other business, and now we're back on the road. Yeah, so
cool. The new release, Danzig 777 I Luciferi. Tell me a little bit about this record. I listened to it, and it kind of sounds like Glenn's going back to his roots a little bit more. There's more guitars than on 6, and definitely more than on 5. Can you tell me a little bit about that? Were you intentionally doing that?
well, there was a lot of guitar on 5. You just couldn't hear it, all that crazy assault. And the same thing with 6. There's a lot of guitars on 6. This is more even further I don't see it as sounding like Danzig 1, because it doesn't, because Danzig 1 is very stripped down and this is very produced. This is just very heavy, a lot of tuned down guitars, really just kind of like my answer to all the rap metal crap that's out there, or like frat metal guys stealing heavy music and trying to make it into like some kind of frat rock, and that ain't gonna happen. Not while I'm around. Ain't gonna happen.
And last time you were in San Antonio, you had just recruited Todd Youth to do your guitar work. Can you tell me a little bit about working with, you brought him into the studio, and does he fit the mold of what you're looking for as a guitarist in Danzig?
Well, yeah, obviously, or else he wouldn't be in the band. Yeah.
What did he bring into the fold, in front of the scenes or maybe behind the scenes?
Lots of drama.
Is that good or bad?
It's good. I'm busted his balls. Todd's a great guitar player.
Cool. You recently, we are about to receive the video for Wicked Pussycat. Tell me a little bit about videos. You've been doing them for the past few albums. Is that something that you enjoy doing, and do you feel that that medium is still obviously important for the imagery?
I think it's important. We a long time ago we did videos, and we wouldn't do them really for MTV. We would just do them for our fans and for whoever we felt would play them. So that's the same thing we do now. We just do them. We don't spend a ton of money on them, and we just make sure that it furthers what we want to do, with the band, and that's it.
You're on the road right now, and just started this tour at the beginning of this month. How's it feel like to be back out on the road, and what are the rest of the touring plans for 2002?
Damn, we're touring this whole year. I don't think we stop until Christmas. So right after this is done, I think the American tour ends around the 10th or 11th in August. Then we go, I think we have like a week and a half off, and we go right to Europe, and then come back here, and I think we go back out. Hopefully we're going to do Blackest of the Black, which is my festival, which is just going to be the most dark, extreme bands. Like, it's not Ozfest because there's nothing corporate about it. It's just going to be all the bands that everyone's scared to play, or, you know what I mean, have a reputation. And
is that going to be like a one-off every year, or is it going to be actually like a tour?
It's going to be a tour,
okay.
And we're going to try and do it every year. And it's not going to be in mega places. We want to build it steady and slow, It's going to be crazy.
And obviously Danzig headlining the show.
It'll be Danzig headline, but we'll be co-headliners too. It's going to be some good bands on it.
Back to this tour, tell me a little bit. People were expecting the Marduk thing, and once again they're having troubles with their getting in the country. You guys got Prong, and I think a lot of people were pleasantly surprised about that.
Yeah, well, it was a drag, of course, because Marduk was really looking forward to coming over and doing the tour also. This is a tour they've waited for a long time. And we waited until the last minute to replace them, and finally, Morgan and the guys called and said we can't do it because not only are we not getting INS approval, but the Swedish embassy had their passports, so they couldn't even sneak over and say that they were coming over to record or something. So Howie and I had just gone to the Troubadour and saw Prong, and Tommy got Prong back together, and they were good, and so we bounced around a bunch of names, and I said, why don't I just call Tommy, and so we called him, and they decided to do it. Because Tommy used to be in Danzig for like a year. Yeah.
You will know. And what about the young band? You handpicked, people have been talking about them already, and that says a lot. When Glenn Danzig picks a young band, you must obviously think highly of them.
Yeah, they're doing really good every night too. They usually, Danzig fans are very, That first band comes on, and it's like yeah, it's baptism by fire. You either make the kids change their mind, or they're gonna destroy you. So they've been doing pretty good, which is good. They're really young, and this is definitely gonna, take them up a notch. That's for sure. Yeah, it's tough going on before both bands, Prong and Danzig. Yeah.
And enough with the technical info. I want to just ask a couple of questions, just as a fan, Glenn, because we got a lot of love for Glenn Danzig here at Rob's MetalWorks, man. First of all, I want to ask. There's a lot of musicians who watch this program, and in your history, you have influenced a lot of musicians, from giants like Metallica to more contemporary bands like AFI and Davey and all them. When it's all said and done, what do you want other musicians and, of course, the fans to remember the legacy of Glenn Danzig? How do you want them to remember that legacy?
Oh, jeez. I never played the record company game. I always did it the way I wanted to do it. I always put out the records I wanted to put out, and hopefully everybody was interested enough to be into it and, look at it like a journey, And that's pretty much it, man. I just enjoy it. I'm a musician. Comes first, and that's the way it is, What else to say?
And true fans of Glenn Danzig also know that you have a history and knowledge about a lot of biblical scripture and about your methodologies. One of the questions that I've been dying to ask you is, what happened on September 11th? How do you see that in relation to some of the things that is written about historical biblical history and things to come? Is that a part of it?
I think it's just more of the same. Whether it leads to a giant cataclysm, like Armageddon thing, I don't know about that. I mean, obviously, any time there's problems like we have where religion is causing wars, yeah, it always could be a problem, but I don't think that this is it. I mean, that's my opinion.
Glenn, it's been great having you on the show, man. Any last words for the people out there in San Antonio?
Just stay true to yourself and keep your eye out and stay strong.
Remember San Antonio, the latest is called Danzig 7 I Luciferi. It's out on Spitfire. Be sure to pick it up. Remember, Danzig rocks right here on Rob's MetalWorks. We'll see you next week.